here we go. We have been having a good time already. Off the air, I guess.
God, I hope it's off the air.
And off the record.
Off the air. And we're here with Fortitude with yours truly, Roland Gutierrez, Marty Galando, and Jorge Giorgio Vasquez. We are indeed suffering through some pain. At least I am today. I've been having a go of it for a while now. I've been complaining of a bad back, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, that's correct.
And I was on a job site. I was carrying some lumber in about a month ago, and I really hurt what I thought I hurt my back. And that might be the case, and that might still be it. But yesterday, I was driving to Karnes County, Texas. I went to an oil and gas company's several different pad sites, if you will.
Cool.
So I went to a giant oil rig that walks by itself.
That is fucking cool.
Oh, is it like the ones with the treads on them and everything?
Yeah, it hydraulically walks for miles.
Oh, shit.
Very slowly.
Yeah, for sure.
But they can move it like 20 miles in 3 days.
That's pretty cool.
That's some shit, isn't it?
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, and so, whether you're liberal, conservative, doesn't matter. I mean, whether you think that oil and gas should not be around, I get it. We should have other means. I understand. The reality is it's not really going anywhere, is it, anytime soon?
Petroleum?
No. And so this is the problem that I have with some of the people that follow me. And I'm a really liberal guy. I'm a pretty progressive guy. But I just don't think petroleum's leaving we're not saying bye to oil and gas anytime soon. It's just not reality.
Well, I mean, that's not the point, I don't think.
No, I mean, I get it. We should all be about the environment. I'm about the environment.
Sure.
We definitely should have more wind and solar.
Sure.
You and I are in agreement we should have nuclear.
Sure.
But if you got all the cars off the road today, and they all made, so we should have better transportation in Texas for sure, right? We should have. We always talk about it, fast rail transit. We don't. That's what makes Texas crummy.
Sometimes.
I love being on a train and just moving. It's fantastic. And I do that in other countries when I've traveled in the past. We just don't do that well. We have a lot of big cars, they're gas guzzlers, and so on. And unfortunately, that's not going to change. But if we had electric cars overnight, you'd still need the energy to power the cars. And I don't think people quite understand that. The electricity has to get to you.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's going to get through there through coal, because we still have coal plants, unfortunately. It's either going to get, hopefully, through more nuclear, which, unfortunately, the United States is not opening up that door very much.
It's deeply, deeply regulated. And there's some
a lot of myths.
Yeah, there's a lot of problematic things associated with it.
Myths.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, historical realities, really. We never did it well. Other countries have done it better. They recycle their spent.
But we can't do that. There's a Carter presidential executive order saying we can't recycle our uranium.
What's it make, plutonium or something?
Makes plutonium.
And so, I wanted to go check it out because I wanted to see this technology, and it's for all those people that saw Landman and think that that's real, where you see all the pump jacks. Yeah, I'm sure but that's not the way new petroleum goes, and they don't even use those anymore. Pump jacks,
really?
It's all there is facets of it, right? I mean, they still have what they call the Christmas tree that's there, which is just a series of valves, and it free flows to an area. And with the big companies, like where I was yesterday, they pump it downstream or upstream to another location, and then from there they either pump it to Houston or they drive it somewhere. And of course, the natural gas, as you know, all goes to the Houston Ship Channel. Some of it goes to different junctions in Texas and ends up being sold to different companies that sell it down to Mexico.
That's interesting.
And so it's all very complex and very complicated. And today was not going to be an oil and gas show, and it's not going to be. We need more wind and solar. We need all of those things. We need more renewable for sure. But I wanted to really see what the big operators were doing and how it works. And the scary part is, and this is the part that even they acknowledge, and you and I have talked about this, is they use a lot of water.
A lot of water.
A lot of water. Now, they claim that 80%, this company, particular company, is claiming that 80% of their water, and they use water in what's called fracking. If you don't know what that is it's pumping water and sand and downhole thousands of feet into the ground and cracking rock formations. And it's caused some seismic issues in communities across the country that we have not yet seen before. And that's one environmental concern that I have. And the second concern that I have is the water that they're using. And it's not like the water stays down there, first off, comes back out with oil, then gets cleaned somewhat, but not really. And so this is a very concerning thing. We got to figure this out in a way that they're not using potable water. Now, they claim that 80% of their water is what we call gray water.
That's correct.
And so in water that they get from the ground, but that is not drinkable. And they claim to use that water as well.
Yeah.
And so, nevertheless, problem for the future, conversation for another day. But for those of you that think that we can go super green overnight, that's not the reality I see right now in this country. We should always be trying. And I did mention I like nuclear. I got a lot of silence yesterday. I don't think they want to see any nuclear ideas coming from me or anybody else. But anyway, I digress. So I was on the road in my truck, and my back was hurting a lot all day yesterday. And today, I had court, and I canceled all that. I'm talking a lot. I'm not letting you guys talk. I'm going to let you talk in a second. I'm telling you the story here. And I felt that my back pain certainly felt a lot like my kidney pain of 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, turns out I had kidney stones.
Yeah, it was a nightmare.
Well, how do you know they weren't your kidneys?
No, I mean, it wasn't my kidneys, but I saw you go through the pain. So,
well, Marty, he knew about the pain for certain. I had, they were like 9 millimeters, these kidney stones back then. And so I'm thinking now that I have that. So I've asked my doctor to get x-rays, and we were able to accomplish that today, a CT scan. And you go into it's not an MRI, but it's like a donut thing, and they move you in the thing, and tomorrow I'll get those results. Two things about this long opening here. This lady at the Valero gas station was telling me that she worked in a cafeteria for a public school, and now she's working at the gas station. And she was telling me about her health care. And she was telling me that she no longer had good health care. So our school employees, whether they're teachers or not, get a pretty good health care system, don't they?
pretty good. It obviously depends on the size and how they join together with other ISTs to get better rates. But yeah, they can get pretty good health care.
So I'm out there in God knows where at this gas station talking to this lady, and she sees me getting water. I said, "Do you have any lemons?" And I'm going to need a knife. I probably thought I was going to do some kind of weird, God knows what, with the knife and the lemons. But I needed some water and some lemons so that I can kind of give some kind of help to my kidneys. And so I got my water, my lemons, and she starts telling me her healthcare story because she was looking for a Coke. She says, maybe I should get a water. I said, well, water's always better for you. And then she starts telling me how her healthcare is so expensive. And all of the subsidies from Obamacare are now gone. And so for everybody that understands this in Texas, under the Affordable Care Act, you got a lot of people, poor people, got some subsidies. Can you explain to the people what those were, to the extent that you know?
To the extent that I remember. So I think that beyond the population of people who were qualified for Medicaid, and since we didn't do the expansion, there was a segment of the population that was, I think, 192% of federal poverty level. They qualified for credits that go to the Obamacare on the market.
Yep.
So I think, for instance, like a normal high risk policy might cost you $1,200 to $1,800 a month. That's about what I paid when I was on my own in my own law office, right? I paid about $900, and that would have been about 10 years ago. So, and I didn't qualify for the credits, right? But if I were making a little bit less money, that policy would have been about $100 a month.
So the New York Times, I sent y'all a video. Maybe, George, you could put this link up there of this guy who was a pizza delivery guy. Maybe just put a link. I don't know if can we do a link?
Yeah, we'll put a link in the show notes.
You go watch that deal on the New York Times. I got to amplify my energy a little bit. Yeah. And we'll go watch that because that woman's story was this guy's story. So enough about my kidneys. I'm not going to tell you how they solved the whole kidney problem 4 years ago. If you ever had kidney stones, it's the worst goddamn procedure you've ever had in your life if you're a male. And then when they were done with it, so I'll just tell you, you can use your imagination. And then when they were done with it all, the guy says, well, unfortunately, we didn't get all of them. And you remember the show Diff'rent Strokes? Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
I do, yes.
Well, there's a kid named Arnold Drummond who was played by Gary Cooper, I think, or Gary Coleman. Gary Cooper was somebody else.
Sergeant York, yeah.
It's old Gary Coleman. He had this line. He's like, what you talking about, Willis? Mm-hmm. So that fucking doctor told me 4 years ago, yeah, we left one back in there because we couldn't reach it. He got one of these very angry, what you talking about, Willis? Because, the out-of-pocket was crazy. The expense to the insurance was crazy. But fuck that, the pain was horrible. And so I'm not going to tell you the whole thing, but they leave a little something inside you called a stint that they later take out, and they just kind of yank it out. And I'm not even going to tell you where they yanked this out from, but you can all understand. And now the show just got exciting. Oh, shit. So we'll stop with my horror stories. Enough of all that. When I went back, he said, let's do it again. So we're not going to stop. I'll tell you the rest of the story. I said, we're not doing that again. We're doing the other way you told me about, which is a thing called lithotripsy. They put you in a little water bath thing. They shoot sonic waves in there, and they break it all up, and you pee it all out.
That's a lot better, I would think.
Fuck yeah. And so I went back for his second show time around, and they said, okay, we got him out, because they just look at it image-wise, and they say, well, it's all dust now. You're going to pee it all out. What the fuck? Why the fuck did you do this to me in the first place? And so now, if this shit happened to me again 4 years later, there's no fucking way I'm going back for round one. They're going to do that damn lithotripsy. I don't care what they say. There's just no fucking way. And so that's what these fucking doctors do, just to make some extra dough.
I know. Doctors are the worst.
Well, let me leave one in there. Fuck this guy. Can you imagine?
How do you make repeat customers?
So for every man that has gone through this, and so for 4 days you have this damn thing inside you now. Now I'm getting really crazy with the story. And it's a little fishing line. And I'm just saying, be careful when you go to the restroom to go pee, because sometimes that fishing line gets caught up in your underwear. Yeah. It's not a good feeling. Not a good feeling. So everybody, all of that you can imagine. Watch out for kidney stones. Drink lots of water, purified water from Hill Country Fair, which is from HEB. HEB, if you're listening.
Here, everything's better.
Here, Hill Country Fair, so your kidneys can be good.
I think they also have lemons and knives there.
And Bolero, Circle K. All right, there you go. There's my plugs for no money. And so, anyway, that's my horror story over the last 24 hours. So I am working today now with Fortitude. Before I go on to our other subjects that we want to talk a little bit about what happened over the weekend with the whole, what was it, the Correspondence dinner?
Yeah, was that the weekend? I guess was that Friday or was that Thursday?
Yeah,
Saturday night. Sunday night? Sunday night. Sunday night.
Anyways, it was in the past.
The Correspondence dinner. We're a little late on it, but
Feels like it's 2 months
we're gonna have some fun. But before we go on to that, dude, your hair is looking real nice. You look like a young. You look like Andrew McCarthy.
Andrew McCarthy's much better looking than me, but I have a trial next week, and so I had to cut my hair.
Yeah, but you styled it, bro. I mean, I've never seen you do this look.
Well, because of our internet fame, I'm trying to look better for you and for our viewers.
You even fucking did the whole beard and everything.
I said, make it look like a point so my face looks longer and I don't look quite so fucking fat. But I'm not sure we've accomplished that.
Dude, you look fucking great, dude.
You
It's
look
a new
like
look.
Young Philip Seymour Hoffman.
On Fortitude, we talk about the senator's genitals and my beard. So here we go.
George, now it's your turn.
Yeah, what do you want to add to the conversation?
I need a haircut.
You do.
So this just reminds me that I need a haircut. I'm wearing a hat, so you don't have to see.
No.
Not that I'm embarrassed about it. I'm just wearing a hat.
No.
We're just talking about our insecurities.
No, don't bring up the complaint you had against your boss. George had pink hair once. I told him he can't have pink hair. That's not cool.
Oh.
Probably some kind of HR
Not in the Texas Senate.
federal law.
Not in the Texas Senate. Not enough employees for
Yeah,
federal law.
I think you were doing that for your kids just to have some fun. I think.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
different.
yeah, no, my wife's a cosmetologist.
It
and
was
all
very
that.
different. It was very different, George.
Yeah, I had it for like 3 days.
It just so happened to be the day that you came into work, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I was just setting stuff up.
Yeah, I guess.
I just,
All right, correspondence dinner. We're going to talk a little bit about voting rights, and then we're going to wrap up with, of course, the Epstein doctrine, the Epstein files.
We are.
Well, we're going to talk about what's that lady's name? It's not Rosie O'Donnell. It's something O'Donnell.
Norah O'Donnell.
Norah O'Donnell. There you go. I'm sorry. That was not a slight. I didn't know her first name. I just kept calling it the O'Donnell interview.
Well, Donald Trump hates Rosie O'Donnell a whole bunch, so
I'm pretty sure he hates Norah O'Donnell now too. Now, I mean, she just fucking got him. Bam.
Yeah.
She fucking. We're gonna talk about that, but not right now. She really fucked him over. It also dawned on me that I didn't finish my Emily Morgan story. I just left y'all hanging on a cliffhanger last week.
So for our listeners, I think he'll continue right here.
All right, maybe. Here we go. Santa Ana, the Battle of San Jacinto. We said how I was talking about, history and so on, and I got on some tangent. And I told y'all about the rest of the story, the story about this woman named Emily Morgan. Well, they were asleep. The Mexican army was asleep. The rebels, whatever you would call them, the Texicans.
The
Texians. They caught them in there with their pants down, literally in some cases. In Santa Ana's case, quite literally. So after he left the Alamo in San Antonio, there was a woman that he met in San Antonio, a mixed race woman, and her name was Emily Morgan. And so he kind of took her, I don't know, slave, hostage, concubine. I don't know. I don't know if she was. Can you say prostitute? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a noun in the English language.
So she might have gone voluntarily. I have no clue. But but the story is that she enchanted him, and she was like what do you call it?
Sorceress?
No, not a sorceress.
a succubus.
Not a succubus.
Somewhere between the two.
No, she just entranced him, I guess, with her.
Enchantress.
An enchantress, maybe. And so old Emily, like Stormy Daniels, Emily Morgan, Santa Ana, was entranced by her, and he was just having a great old time with the two of them were having a nice time for several days, and he just wasn't on his game. He wasn't on his game.
It was not focused.
He was in love.
Yeah.
And so on the night that they came in, they were all asleep, and he was in bed with Emily Morgan, and that was the end of that.
And it was the Battle of San Jacinto.
It lasted all of 20 minutes. Wasn't much of
minutes.
18 minutes. Wasn't much of a battle. The battle, not Santana.
Let's hope. So wait, hold on. Which one lasted 18 minutes, the battle or Santa Ana?
Yeah, the battle lasted 18 minutes.
Okay.
Because all the Mexicans were asleep. All right, there you have it. There's Texas independence for you right then and there. All right, the Correspondence dinner. That was some weird shit.
It was weird.
from all of it, right? Because the perpetrator is this, not a bachelor's degree, a doctorate, maybe.
At some grad school. I hadn't heard about his education level, but it was above a bachelor's degree for sure.
And nothing like, not just some regular college. The guy went to, not MIT, but Caltech.
That's right.
Caltech, that's
right.
not a nothing.
No, it's a very hard school to get into.
That's not a nothing. And so this guy, he's kind of wigged out, I guess, at some point, right, in his life, maybe.
Yeah, no, I think something happened. Yeah. They make things go haywire. And I guess he was online fairly consistently, and
Probably watching the show.
no,
No,
no, it's
definitely not.
It's my friend and my mom so far. So please tell people to subscribe. Thank you.
Yes, everybody, please subscribe and tell your friends about this. Fortitude with Roland Gutierrez, this great show where you get to hear about all sorts of nonsense and a lot of political nonsense and some true facts and some not so true facts. But at no time do you ever hear political violence from us, and that's what I wanted to talk about. We might say Trump's a son of a bitch. We might say he's a piece of shit. We might say he's a motherfucker. We might say a million things about the guy.
Chinga tu madre.
We might tell him, chinga tu madre. But we had this thing from Caroline Levitt, which is the press secretary for the president. And she gets out there the next day and she says, it's you Democrats that are out there vilifying the president. I think he's done a pretty good job on his own, right?
He sure has.
Yeah.
Like, physician, heal yourself, right? Look at what you guys are putting out every day.
I mean, this is the dude that fucking goes out there and makes fun of disabled people.
Correct.
Said he could shoot somebody in Fifth Avenue in broad daylight and get away with it.
Correct.
Get away with it. He was there was a rally. Like, this dude's not just like, oh, Democrats are dicks. I mean, or you're horrible. This is the guy that what has he said about Mexicans?
They're not sending their best.
Right, we're sending our rapists and their this and their that. And then he says he was at a rally, and this guy, he had some guy, what do you call them when they're in the back? They're yelling at you. What's the word?
Protesters?
No, not a protester. Umo was a protester, but a guy was, giving him a hard time. And he tells the security, get the guy out of here. Kick his ass. Or he doesn't say kick his ass. He's beat the hell out of him. That's what he said.
That's what he said.
Beat the hell out of him. I think that's political violence for sure.
Maybe. I mean, I actually disagree that it's not political violence unless you're doing it for a political reason.
Well, but telling someone, it's like I say, my wife and I, and she's like, don't talk about this. Oh, bullshit, we're going to talk about this. Because I say he's a motherfucker. He's a son of a bitch. He's a thief. I say he might be a pedophile. I don't know.
He's definitely a thief.
Yeah, definitely a thief.
Yeah.
But none of that is saying saying, oh, go do anything bad to this guy. Speaking of which, 8647. I'm not saying that. That's the whole thing. I don't want to get indicted by Todd Blanche. That's the fucking other piece from, what was that? That's Comey, right?
It's Comey.
I'm writing it down just because I'm reporting on this. I'm not saying 86, Donald Trump. 86 means remove. It means get rid of. It means eliminate, not eliminate, but it could be eliminate. But
it's kitchen talk.
It's kitchen talk.
Yeah.
It's people use this at the really in restaurants.
100%.
Really where it came from.
That's where I learned it. I learned it from the Port Drive-In in Chesterton, Indiana.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, scratch that.
Yeah, I was a cook. Were you ever a cook?
No. Well, yeah, I was. I worked for Steak Escape. If you've ever heard of Steak Escape, it was a chain from, I want to say Illinois, maybe. I don't know.
Probably. It was the Midwestern for sure, right?
Best damn cheesesteaks you ever had in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I made a mean cheesesteak. It was fantastic.
And mine, it was a giant pork tenderloin. We used to deep fry that sucker. It was awesome. I miss that. I mean, that was the best job I ever had.
Yeah, food is great. And so this old boy, that's where 86 comes from. So he goes off, and I'm going back. I jump into Comey because he says this. They indict him yesterday, which is just nonsense.
It's the fourth time.
Right. The fourth time they indict the former director of the FBI, the former assistant United States attorney, or number 2 United States attorney. Just ludicrous because Donald Trump is throwing a little fit.
It's toddler talk. It's 100% toddler activity.
And Caroline Leavitt was throwing a little fit. Don't be mad. Don't be mean to my boss. Your boss is a dick. That's not political violence. Your boss is a fucking a politically violent person who constantly promulgates political violence on people all the time. They've killed many, many Mexicans, ICE has. Oh, many, many Mexicans.
At least 48 people have died in ICE custody, I think.
48 people.
That we know about.
Fuck you. That's political violence.
It's political violence when you don't get your Social Security check because they fucked up with Doge, right? That's political violence.
And instead, this motherfucker gets all of the fucking resources of government. And, Caroline Leavitt, oh, you're not being nice. The Democrats aren't being nice. No, fuck you. Own your shit. Own your shit. Own the fucking beast in the fucking White House, because that's what he is. He's a fucking animal. You going to indict me now?
I don't think we rate that level quite yet.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, all 100 people can listen to us. I mean, at some point, what's next? I mean, the guy on the street says, fuck Donald Trump, indict him.
And if we had that kind of system, what would it be like?
That's where we are. When you go after a Comey, because I would argue that this is political violence.
You're definitely using the structure of government to harm someone's life, right? Based on nothing.
Are they beating up Comey? No. They just arrested him and put him in handcuffs today.
Mm-hmm.
Just for a show. Whether they put him in handcuffs or not, they probably did because they have to, right? Because when you arrest somebody and bond them out and go through the procedure, this is the way you do it. That's fucking political violence. And nobody's talking about that today.
No.
And listen, I'm no fucking Comey fan.
No, he's a schmuck.
He's a fucking schmuck that fucked up the election because he... What did he say about Hillary? What was the last-minute bullshit deal?
The week before the election, they released a bunch of emails from the server. They found other server-related emails.
And it was all bullshit.
Yeah.
It was all bullshit, and his issue was, well, I thought she was going to win, or I didn't think it'd affect the election. What do you mean you didn't think it'd affect the election?
It did.
That motherfucker was going to talk about it all day long. See? Crooked Hillary kept calling her that. Political violence is going after people you don't like for sport.
For sport.
For sport. And using your tax dollars to do it. The dude wrote in seashells on the beach, 86-47. Don't vote for Donald Trump. 26th Amendment, Donald Trump. Remove Donald Trump from office because he's a nut job. Or a thief. Impeach Donald Trump. Whatever 86 meant to him, it's his fucking right to do. Did he tell someone? Did he go? Was that a hidden message to some fucking assassin?
No.
Fucking nonsense. Nonsense.
Also, he said his testimony was, as I understood it, is that it wasn't actually him who did it. He just took a picture of it. He was just walking on the shore, saw someone who did it. He took a picture of it and said, "This is interesting."
Right. Then you gotta go. Then you fucking go. This whole thing. So I'm not really getting on to the stuff that we said we were going to talk about political violence, but I'm on a tangent here. And then he goes after Kimmel because Kimmel says a joke a few days before. I don't know if we have the joke.
Our First Lady, Melania Trump, saying I should be fired because of a joke I made, again, 5 nights ago. It was a pretend roast. I said, our First Lady Melania is here. Look at her, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow, which obviously was a joke about their age difference and the look of joy we see on her face every time they're together.
And so fuck yeah, that's political violence. Fire him. He may not be throwing him in jail. It may not be beating up Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Kimmel's got a lot of money, but it still doesn't mean you can go say, fire that person. Hurt that person's fame, his family, his lifestyle, his living. Take his job from him.
Joke.
Take a fucking joke, you fucking bastard. You can't fucking, I mean, you're in the White House, dude, you thin-skinned son of a bitch. I mean, who's next? So all of us say shit about you like this. And so, number one, you can't take a joke. And number two, I guess we're all going to go to jail eventually in your world.
Well, it feels like jail already, but yes.
Fucking horse shit. So, the real violence, a sick man going in to kill someone, who knows, I don't know, the president, who knows. He said members of the administration in his quote-unquote manifesto. Interesting thing about that's the real actual violence. And instead of Caroline Leavitt saying, hey, we're going to keep guns out of the hands of mentally ill people, she didn't say that, did she?
No, she did not say that.
We have a party here, the Republican Party, that says, we're tough on crime. Democrats are weak on crime. Horse shit. Horse shit.
To be fair, they also said the Pope was weak on crime.
We did that last week. We did the Pope skit last week. But it's still fun.
It's still pretty funny.
It's still funny. It's still good. You know, let me tell you something. It's one thing to be tough on crime, crack some heads, whatever you want to do. Maybe that's what he wants. He wants cops to be like cops when he was a kid back in the 20s or some shit.
The 20s.
The copper would come up with a nightstick and, well, hell, in the 50s and 60s. That's what he wants.
That's what he thinks he wants.
Yeah, he wants them to treat people like they treated those poor kids in that park, those poor innocent kids. Yeah, that he's the Central Park Five.
That was the 80s, but yes.
In the 80s, and he said lock them up and put them away. They were innocent.
That's right.
And that motherfucker got him put away for a long time. Maybe not him in general, but he was all about talking about it.
He didn't help. He bought a whole page an ad in the New York Times saying lock him up.
Piece of shit. Oh, by the way, the healthcare lady at the gas station yesterday, the one with all the healthcare problems, she was a Republican.
Of course she was.
I asked her, do you vote? Hispanic. I said, do you vote? She said, oh, yeah, I vote for Republicans. And you don't think Donald Trump put you in this situation to begin with? Oh, no. That was the Biden. Lady, you don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about. So these motherfuckers have run a number on you. They have run a number on you.
What do you think explains that?
Ignorance. They have dumbed down America. They've dumbed down our education system. There's a reason people don't read as much anymore.
I think a lot of it is probably due to social media because it promotes a lot of extreme content or like stuff involving conflict. And a lot of that is just so easily digestible, right? I think a lot of these people don't trust the mainstream news or mainstream narratives. And so they go off with like the extreme views of these streamers and other stuff like that. And they follow it, or even just these influencers that they're watching instead of the news, where they'd rather be getting opinion-based content as opposed to like actual factual reporting and like journalism, which requires some ethics.
I get it.
I
get it. So I digressed again. Tough on crime, they tell you, but they do nothing on any kind of gun control. Listen, even if you're a right-wing, crazy Second Amendment Republican, at what point do you say that maybe mentally ill people shouldn't have access to guns?
I don't know. I haven't met that Republican yet. When I meet that Republican, I'll let you know.
I mean, what the fuck's wrong with y'all? Mentally ill people should not have guns.
And people in crises, mental crises, shouldn't have guns. We should have a way to help them and get them away from their weapon.
Extreme risk protective orders aren't bad. It keeps the guns away from people that we've identified might be in a crisis.
It keeps us safe and them safe.
So, you know, they're not tough on crime. Horse shit. They exacerbate crime. The cops, where are y'all in the legislature when it comes to having gun safety solutions?
Silent.
They are silent. They are never there. And I know I have a lot of great cop friends, and thank you very much for that. You might not be my friends after this show, but your associations, all of you, you don't go to testify in the legislature. You never go out and say, hell, the bad guys are shooting at you. You'd think you'd go up there, you'd be the first ones at the door saying, hey, please change this law. So I don't know if you just want everybody to have a gun so you can have job security or what the fuck. Makes no sense to me.
I mean, it makes political sense, right? They don't want to get crosswise with leadership. I get that. But there was a time, I don't know, 10 years ago, and where they would take a stand in a committee and say this is a good idea to kind of register or look at it, and then something happened.
We're going to talk about the voting rights case in a minute that just came out today. Marty's going to be he's going to steal the show on that. That's his thing. That's his stick. That and water law. He loves water law.
A little bit.
And he loves voting rights laws. So he's going to explain that in a second. But one last thing on this political violence thing. Did you see the latest thing on Donald Trump? I heard this morning. He wants to rename ICE. Did you hear this?
No, I didn't hear it. To NICE.
Nice.
That makes some sense.
The National Immigration Customs Enforcement, whatever the fuck.
It's like a 10-year-old's running the country.
Yes. You see, they're nice. We're calling them nice now. He's a fucking child. This
You
guy.
put little smiley faces on their
masks.
body armor. Yeah, on their masks. Go around with just smiley face masks.
Smiley fake mask. That would be cool.
That's,
It would. They should,
cool. It's dystopian as
They
fuck.
should put the mask on from what's that movie called? The one with the ghost. They made like 8 or 10 of them.
Scream.
Scream, the crazy ghost mask.
Ghostface, don't encourage them. They will.
They'll do it.
guys
They'll
are
be like,
ready-
that's fucking
These
cool.
guys are fucking nuts, and
Yeah, we want Punisher shit on our cars.
they are fucking doing so much evil to Hispanics, to migrants. Not nice, Donald Trump, what you've done. And you fucked Americans in the offing. You've killed 2. You've hurt a lot of people. You've hurt our economy. You are hurting the hotel industry, the restaurant industry, the construction industry, and so many other industries. And you are the worst fucking businessman I've ever seen in my whole fucking life. I mean, if a guy's running for office and he's filed for bankruptcy and his business is like 5 times, most of you should fucking think, yeah, that's kind of a red flag there.
I mean, he's a bad businessman.
Great con man.
But he's a great con man. Great grifter.
The grifter. So I still got to do this piece. And voting rights. Okay, what happened today on this big voting rights bill? A lot of times people get lost in this whole redistricting stuff. They don't know.
Well, today the Supreme Court issued its opinion, long awaited. It's a Louisiana case. In Louisiana, they created a second, I believe, African American majority district, and it was challenged as a racial gerrymander. Maybe it was just one. It's a challenge as a racial gerrymander, and the case took a while to go to trial, and I think it was up on a final judgment posture, and it was briefed before the court. The oral arguments were in October or November, and they finally came up with the opinion today. And if you've been involved in voting rights or election law in the last 10 or 15 years, it's been like running in sand. That you never know when whatever injunction you've obtained or whatever final judgment you've obtained is going to be nullified by an appellate court. It happens all the time. And today was just another one of those days. And for most people, they were saying they're going to find the whole thing unconstitutional. But the truth is what they did is they just made it impossible to get a Section 2 violation. Just made it simply impossible. I could get into the rigmarole about it, but just put it this way. In 1964, 65, they passed the Voting Rights Act. And
OBJ.
Yes, LBJ. And after that, there was a lot of litigation that ensued, and it took a while for it to become super effective. But by 1981, the Texas House of Representatives had 150 state representatives, and they were all elected from single-member districts. And that was the first time in Texas history in which every state representative was elected by a single member district. And as a consequence of that, it elected a record number of minorities, African Americans, Latinos. And ever since then, there's been multiple attempts by Democrats and Republican leadership to give the Voting Rights Act a haircut. And finally, it happened to the point where it's going to be very difficult to prove up a case of vote dilution in federal court. And the long and short of it is this, from my perspective, the Voting Rights Act is the most successful piece of legislation in modern times. It was extraordinarily effective at creating opportunity where none existed before. And as a consequence, more people got a chance to play a role in government and to talk to their representatives who looked like them and shared their lives. And I think that had a radical and important impact on policymaking at the local level, at the state level, and at the federal level. It's all levels of government, right? And now I think that we're going to see the reverse happen, where fewer people, fewer diverse voices, fewer people from different walks of life, fewer people who have different kinds of socioeconomic status or cultural backgrounds will be heard in government as a consequence of this ruling. And it won't happen immediately, but it'll take in about 10 years unless we fix this. Government will be wider, older, and richer, and I think that's fairly dangerous.
Yeah, rich white old men hasn't done so well for us so far in this country over its entire history. And so what Marty's telling you is that once again, they have fucked you over, and if you're not paying attention, they're going to make it very, very, very difficult to pick representatives that look like you. They'll change maps where they have more Republicans over Democrats. And that's basically what redistricting has become now. It's whoever is in the dominating party gets to go pick out these new maps in such a way that they have dominating numbers for a very long time.
Yes.
And so all very complex, slightly boring. We had a whole great time on the Senate floor where I basically was able to show that one of my colleagues is a liar. And I can say that. Nice person, sure enough.
Smart
guy. But he was kind of lying, wasn't he? And oddly enough, the court of the federal judge panel, it was a federal judge panel.
It was a 3-judge panel in El Paso.
They said, yeah, and they put my cross-examination of this guy in 3 pages of a over 90-page opinion. And they went and they said, well, after I was done with this guy, they said they questioned his veracity for truthfulness. And so you can call that what you will. At the end of the day, rich white men are always going to try to keep their rich white men in power for the ones that are pulling the strings on them, which is Donald Trump's billionaire class. And so wake up, everybody. You should be woke. Wake the fuck up, because we're getting screwed over, and they're going to keep screwing us over until we fight back, push back. And that's what this show's about. We're in pain. We're in a lot of pain, and you've got to fight back and push back against this madness. Norah O'Donnell.
She tuned him up.
60 Minutes. That's a clip that you have to find. You're going to find that whole little piece there?
Yeah, in fact, everybody's about to listen to it right now.
He appears to reference a motive in it. He writes this, quote, administration officials, they are targets. And he also wrote this: I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people. Horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person. I got associated with all stuff that has nothing to do with me.
This dude what's funny about the whole thing, y'all saw this, about the whole fucking thing, this dude's like taking a victory lap on the night of the thing, and he's doing the thing in the tuxedo at the they rush him back, and he wants to supposedly continue to do the show. Well, look, he's in this shit house. And his popularity, his favorability is at what?
I mean, it depends on where you look, but like 38% to 32%.
Right. Lower than Biden at this time, lower than any president of his time, lower than Jimmy Carter.
It's the lowest in measured history at this time.
And so he's in the shit house, and he's in the shit house because of his stupid war, his economy, the way he's killing people, treating people, his buddy, his friendship with Putin, the fact that he fucking does political violence every day, all of it. He's an asshole, and he doesn't care, and he's a thief, and we're all fucking, people are starting to figure out what we've already known. He's a fucking thief. And so he's in the shit house, and so he's kind of looking forward, I think, to the Correspondent's dinner.
He is. He's trying to pivot.
He's trying to pivot, isn't he?
He's trying to pivot.
And I'm going to go to my dinner, and I'm going to say some nasty jokes to reporters, but I worked out this deal, because he did. He worked out this deal with the National Press Corps. And because he had been boycotting for like
3 years, I think.
3 years. He boycotted in the previous one, and he boycotted the last two. And he says, this year I'm going to go. And he got a nice, more extra spray tan. His wife got all dolled up. And he is psyched up because he wants to do what all presidents do. They give a speech to reporters. Most of us never see this shit because they never show it on TV.
It's boring as fuck, dude.
Right, and you hear people say stupid jokes, roasting each other. Yeah. And the president is generally roasting these reporters. And so he was ready to give him hell. And I'm sure it would have had a little bit of negativity. The old Donald Trump would have come out. But he was all about. And then he was so effusive after the fucking, the attempted shooting or whatever it was. They catch the guy. For 3 hours, it's like, oh, shit. And then they decide to go on with the show, and he wants to stay. Secret Service says, no, that's not happening. We're going back to town. We're going back to the White House. They go to the White House. They have this thing. And around 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock, he starts doing an interview. And in that interview with the reporters there, he's just like, oh, just a madman. And he's going down this road, and he starts talking to the reporter. And Chairwoman, you've done such a great job with the event. I was really looking forward to it. I was going to give you some hell. I really was. But now I got to give you love. I got to give you the love because I love you all. Because this is Donald Trump part 3, I guess. The pivot that Marty talked about. Because he's in the shit house. And that was going to be his pivot point, right? And he didn't get his pivot point, did he?
No.
So the next fucking day, he thinks, I'm going to do more of this shit, but now I'm going to do it on 60 Minutes. This is badass.
Mm-hmm. Prime time.
And so she had said how hard they fought to get the interview. They've never done an interview so quickly with a president like that. He agrees to it because he thinks, I'm going to sandbag these people. It's all going to be about glorious me, and I did great, and I saved the world, and the guy was a loser and everything else. And he was a sicko, and he thought he was going to tell that fucking version of the story, right? I'm sorry, dude. You are Jeff Epstein's buddy. Your wife was his protege. She was probably one of the gals. Who knows? I don't know about that. Let me not conjecture.
But what it is the shadow self leaking out. Like, you see this in cross-examination, right? Like where you ask someone a tough question, you keep on asking, and then you hit a point, and then they just vomit out the truth. It's because you've hit some sort of trigger in their mind where their shadow self leaks out. And I can't say that's what was going on in his mind, but that's what it looked like to me. And when that happens, he just responds with cruelty and invective. It's rough.
He could have done the whole thing.
He could have been magnanimous.
Or he could have just done a Gary Coleman. What you talking about?
He could have, right?
That would have been a better response.
Diff'rent Strokes was about a very rich man living in New York on not Fifth Avenue, but on Park Avenue.
And Mr. Drummond, I believe.
Mr. Drummond.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Trump fell right into Norah O'Donnell's trap. So sad. Whatever you said about what did you say? The shadow what?
The shadow self.
The shadow self.
Jungian shadow self. It kind of leaks out, man.
Yeah. Everybody, listen, glad you're here. We're going to keep talking about the pain that's killing us. And we really are. And as I've told you before, the best thing that you can do is talk to people that are not like you. We all tend to be tribal, and we stick to our pals, we stick to our friends, we stick to our same groups. Talk to someone that you normally wouldn't talk to at the diner, wherever. I try to talk to people all the time, and I try to tell them we're not that different. Even and really along with a lot of Republicans, I talk to Republican voters. We're not that different in what we want. But this guy, these people that are running that party have nothing. They don't care about them. All they want to do is put more money in their own pockets. And that's a goddamn shame. Oh, let me finish. One last thing.
What?
That was fucking hilarious. When he fucking said Matt Dillon. Nobody knew who Matt Dillon was.
He's in the thing.
Not that Matt Dillon. When he's talking about the shooter guy, he says he raced down there, and he says, and the cop shot at him.
Cole Allen? His name was Cole
It was
Allen.
Cole Allen. It
Yeah.
was Cole Allen. But he says
Matt Dillon was the guy in Gunsmoke.
no, but that's right. But he says that the Secret Service shot him so fast they were like Matt Dillon, and so all the kind of what's your generation called?
Millennial?
All the millennials were thinking of Matt Dillon, the actor.
Maybe.
Matt
From,
Damon?
no, Matt Dillon, the actor from, I guess, The Outsiders. What else was Matt Dillon in?
He was in the thing.
The Thing.
Oh.
He was on Entourage.
Entourage.
Yeah.
So, no, he wasn't on Entourage.
was?
His brother was on Entourage. That was his,
That's the brother.
no.
Yes.
The guy on Entourage was not Matt Dillon. That was his younger brother.
I mean, I know there's Dillon brothers.
Okay, I'm
They're actually half brothers, I think.
I'm 100% right on this, so you want to go ahead and challenge me. I'll bet you.
I don't want to bet anymore about anything ever again.
You will lose. Matt Dillon was an actor in the 80s, in the 90s, and 2000s.
Something about Mary.
Yeah.
Something about Mary. That is Matt Dillon. The one in Entourage was not Matt Dillon. And so so, but people didn't know what he was talking about was Matt Dillon, Marshall Matt Dillon, the character from Gunsmoke.
Mm-hmm.
Another great show.
Never saw it.
It was before your time.
It was on for 20 years, I think, right? Like literally 20 years, right?
Before my time. No, Gunsmoke wasn't on that. Maybe Bonanza was.
Bonanza for sure was, and so was like Wagon Train, but I think Gunsmoke was on for at least 12 years.
No.
Yeah, Gunsmoke. Yeah, these went from like black and white to color episodes.
It did. 20 seasons. You're right. You're right. You got me on that
Should
one.
bet.
You could have won your money back.
I don't care.
55 to 75. Marshall Matt Dillon. Who's he played by?
Isn't it?
James Arness.
It was James Arness.
James Arness.
So Chuck Connors was the
No,
Chuck Connors was the rifleman,
It
right?
was the Rifleman. It was a movie.
Do you think he was a baseball player too? He was on.
Ian Curtis, Festus, Miss Kitty, Amanda Blake.
What a fucking shitty show.
Oh, that was Miss Kitty, bro.
Oh, I could.
All right, everybody. We thank you for joining us on Gunsmoke today. Join us next week on Fortitude, where we're actually going to talk about some more fun shit. We'll figure something out. Y'all be well. Take care. We'll see you soon. Keep fighting back, pushing back. Oh, not political violence fighting back, but actually, going out and voting. Pushing back against injustice, talking to your neighbors, getting young people to actually care and give a shit. We can do this together, but we got to talk to one another. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.